Seasons 3 and 4. Now, while looking through my notes for these 2 seasons, I found that I really didn't have enough material to make 2 separate videos for each of these seasons, so I'm smashing them together. And honestly, that really should go to say how much I uphold these seasons in the whole scope of the show. Which is not very highly, like, at all. So first, let's start with the good things. Season 3, well, there was an overarching story, that being Elise being pregnant. But yeah, we have another little Keaton running around. Where have I seen that before? Oh yeah, like every other sitcom ever. Just to focus on the positive. It's the positive that we're doing. Justine Bateman just continues to surprise me with her acting. Like, Season 3 was probably my favorite I've seen of her so far, but it also helps that she has good material to work with. Another good thing about this season, Geena Davis. While Elise is pregnant with Andrew, they decide to hire a maid, and that is Geena Davis. Geena Davis is the maid. And like, she doesn't know how to maid, so she fucks a lot of shit up. But like, the family grows to love her, and of course she doesn't become a regular character because there were no other regular recurring characters besides the Keatons throughout the whole run of the show. So she's restrained to her 2-episode arc. My only qualm with Geena Davis in this show is that sometimes she gets a little mushy. Like, there's a way that she pronounces a certain word, I can't remember what it is, but it just has a sound to it that just kind of bugged me. Positives about season 4. Andrew is still a baby, which means he has nothing to say, and I like that. This is the season where we meet Mallory's long-term boyfriend, Nick. And Nick is probably my favorite side character in this whole show because Nick gives something for Steven to do. But we'll get back to that later. Another positive thing about this season is Alex's girlfriend, Ellen, played by his real life wife, Tracy Pollan. They have some of the best chemistry I've ever seen in any sitcom ever, and it just fills my heart whenever I see them act together. But a bad thing is Ellen didn't get nearly enough screen time as much as she probably deserved, because Tracy Pollan is actually a really great actress. And she really complements Alex's greed and just his character traits in general. Like, they complement each other so nicely. Some negatives about both seasons in general. You've heard me... Oh my god! You've heard me narc on this before, but... that godforsaken formula. There's one episode where it is so transparent and awful. And that episode is called Bringing Up Baby, in which Jennifer is jealous of the newborn Andrew and does everything in her power to make it seem like Andrew is the bad guy in every possible situation. And I hate it. Out of all of the dumb episode premises, out of all of the dumb jokes, Bringing Up Baby was the episode that made me cringe the absolute most. Another negative, Elise and Steven have like nothing to do. At this point in the series, they are basically the same person. So like, I know Michael J. Fox and Justine Bateman were like the more popular ones on the show, but the show was initially focused on the parents and their lives, not the kids and their lives. So like, I understand that the kids are a little more interesting because they're growing up, they have a lot more stuff that they're going through. But like, in those first couple of seasons, Elise and Steven were pretty cool parents. Like, they had some really cool stuff to say, and they had these great moments of advice giving. But now they're just kind of this amalgamation of these two perfect parents, and they're kind of boring. Also, the comedy, while still very funny, is getting a little trope-ish. This is really evident when everybody makes jokes about how, Mallory's dumb, or, Alex likes money and is greedy and cheap. I think we should also get out of the way that in between seasons 3 and 4, they filmed a TV movie called A Family Ties Vacation, in which they go to Europe. And I don't like it. I thought it was a very overlong, unnecessary thing that people felt like they had to make because they felt like they had a story to tell, but then it just kind of cul-de-sacs back into this very mediocre heist film. And honestly, a very poor excuse for why Michael J. Fox could not go to the English premiere of Back to the Future. But I'm not bitter. I just remembered that episode that I did not like is not called Bringing Up Baby, it's called Cry Baby. Cry Baby. Cry Baby. My favorite episode of season 3 is probably 4 Rooms Ocean View, in which the kids, while Elise and Steven are gone, rent out rooms in their house to people attending a baseball game? I think it's a baseball game. This episode is very farcical, and for anyone who knows me pretty well, I am a sucker for farce. The guests that come are hilarious, the Keaton's interactions, along with Skippy, who's also in this escapade, are just great, and somehow a kangaroo gets involved. My favorite episode of season 4, and perhaps the whole series thus far, is the premiere, The Real Thing, parts 1 and 2, in which Alex meets his girlfriend, Ellen. And this is the first time for the next 3 consecutive Emmy Awards where Michael J. Fox won Best Leading Actor in a Comedy Series, because his performance is so good, and the writing is so good. It just blows my mind. Like, if all of the episodes were this smart and all of the characters were given this A+ material, then we would have a kick-ass show. I think overall, I'm going to give season 3 a strong B+. Not totally awful, but still kind of boring. And I'm going to give season 4 an A-. Mostly just for that premiere episode. And nothing else. So, this is Dustin signing off, but only for now.